Yes, you cannot disregard the fact that the social media, Facebook, is sometimes full of aggressive, very obnoxious people. Now, many of my patients come to me and say that I have left Facebook because it is too much toxic. It's true. Now, if you write a very corrosive, very obnoxious, very rude post, you will see views immediately skyrockets. Whereas if you write a very calming, a very soothing, a beautiful piece, you just write and read it, or you can post it, there is not such an amount of popularity. So I often ask my wife, who is in psychology, who teaches psychology in a college, is our society is now full of only aggressive, toxic people? She says, no, it can't be. I also believe it can't be. This is only a section of people who's actually prowling on the Facebook looking for the expression of their anger, their aggression inside. Now, all of us have some sort of aggressiveness, survival instinct inside us. And famous thinker Bertrand Russell had said that each and every one of us can commit a murder, but the level of threshold will vary. So the provocation will vary. And now there would be people who, with simple provocation or even without provocation, they can just be severely aggressive, severely violent. There are some people who are naturally attracted to violence. Whenever we see mayhems like this is happening in a neighboring country now, there will be a lot of people who would be naturally drawn towards these sort of violent mayhems. Now, there is, and one day I may talk about that what causes violence. There are certain genetic predisposition, but there are other causes where a human being become naturally violent. There is a debate with whether we are completely born with this violence or there is some later factors in life which causes this sort of uh, violent behavior. Now, these people would otherwise, there are other reasons why people are so much aggressive, a section of people who are aggressive in Facebook. One of them is that a lot of narcissistic people, narcissism is one of the reasons. A lot of narcissistic people is now in the Facebook. Now, narcissistic people, not only that they love themselves intensely, but they want to control people. They cannot remain alone. They are looking for some victims, looking for, so that they can control somebody. Now, in spirituality, say that those people who can live alone without anybody recognition or love or admiration from anybody, who can spend life alone, they are the real strong people. Because if you can live with yourself with comfort and harmony, you won't need anyone, and they are better developed. Yes, those people also maybe they're in the Facebook section of them. Many of them won't be there, but they are there. Those who are, they're looking for good things, good vibes, and they are absorbing those things, and sometimes they're posting that sort of positive things. But these narcissistic people, they would like to control. If they find somebody is getting some popularity benefits, so from the Facebook, people are loving that person, they will just want to control, give some rude remark, continuously pester these people, which is now a famous terminology has been discovered, which is known as trolling. So they will become trolls, and dedicated trolls. From the morning they will wake up, they will browse, prowl through the Facebook and other social media to find out the vulnerable people whom they can attack. Another thing which is important is that anything rude, anything violent, anything deadly or devastating normally attracts us. This theory I used in my second English novel, Sequel, in a case of journalism. in the case of journalism examination, where they say why the journalism is often they portray these kinds of happenings or events like violence and death and mayhem rather than beautiful success stories and soft things. And this is because these violence usually, these mayhems usually directly affects our survival instinct. This affects our deeper centers of brain, which are much more stronger, so we are naturally attracted because this is associated with my survival, and we are one of the most basic and most strong instinct is a survival instinct. The other thing is that these people, apart from narcissism, they are also, they try, there is a condition which I've used in one of my Bengali stories in Rituraj SMS, that there is a special syndrome which is also devised. This term has been devised by a psychologist, which is known as entitlement syndrome. There are a lot of people out there who want to be successful, who want to be loved, who want to be admired, but they don't have that amount of talent to get recognized. So they feel depressed, they feel angry, and so they feel that I am also entitled for these successes, for these admiration, for these recognition. But because they don't have the talent, the society does not recognize. Society is a very cruel thing. It won't recognize you unless you have that amount of talent. So this man who has devised the term entitlement syndrome, he said that you cannot change the society. If you get depressed by these sort of thoughts, you cannot change. Society is a huge thing. Change yourself. But these people often can't change themselves. So they try to hit or attack, or even sometimes write or post positively about the celebrities and get that reflected glory towards them, so that they would be also seen, recognized. Oh, this man has told very angry words and right words, because we are all, many of us, most of us maybe, is jealous of successful people, of celebrities. So if somebody tells a rude thing, we love it. Okay, so this, that celebrity is not as good as he or she thinks. See, this man is telling against him all these things. So this is a common psychology which is used. But having said all this, is social media, or are the social media totally bad? No. There are so many beautiful, positive, and information floating in it. I scroll through them, the things which I like: astrophysics, quantum physics, spirituality, and many of the mysteries, life after death. There are a lot of beautiful articles, consciousness, and I go through them. I read a lot of books, but these posts often are taken up from these many books which I don't have the time, I don't know these books to read them. So they make a gist of it and they come out with it. So I learn a lot of things and I go on scrolling. And I must tell you, many, many beautiful, positive things I have experienced through social media. Today, for example, I had the last life of Nietzsche, the famous philosopher. I was reading that he spent his last life in a mental asylum, couldn't think, couldn't write anymore. Now, this was a philosopher who believed that the human life is very, very negative. We are here for sufferings. He has this beautiful quotation that if you continuously stare at an abyss, the abyss starts staring at you. Now, this man once saw a horse-driven carriage was going, and the carriage man, the driver was whipping the horse mercilessly. He just rushed to the horse, embraced the horse, started crying, and he collapsed. This massive uh, explosion of sympathy inside him made him forever collapsed. He couldn't think anymore, and he had to remain his last days in this mental asylum. So how much compassion this man had, and how he realized how this life is so hard and difficult for all of us. Now, this story today I read in the social media, and really it impacted me. So it's not all bad if you know how to selectively browse, how to selectively read, or how to, if you have the talent to spread positivity. This is a very good media.